Hey YouTube, vamos amigos. It's your boy Duke. I'm back better than ever. Feeling good. Yesterday we were celebrating a $25,000 victory for my guy Joe, who I think was a little hungover today, as he should be. And today, several four-figure wins for the Elite Mafia. Of course, we had 3 games in Euro action. It is Wednesday, June 16th. We'll be previewing the 17th games, 3 games, including the big boys Belgium. But before we do that, we got to check out what we did today. I gave out 3 bets on yesterday's show. And we got to thank EliteFantasy.com for allowing me to do these for free for you. And by the way, really appreciate the views. Likes, killed it yesterday. Again, let's try to get to 15 likes today if we can, please. And as always, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because I'm giving out free plays. I'm working my tail off, trying to make you guys some money. And, of course, having fun while we're doing it. But we had 3 awesome games today. 3 shutouts, which I didn't necessarily see coming because I thought we'd get maybe another goal from the Swiss, which seems silly now looking at it with the Italy back line. But certainly thought Turkey-Wales we'd see goals from both games. Turkey maybe the disappointment of the tournament, which I kind of called. I didn't think they'd be this bad, but I had them in 3rd place in the group with Wales in 4th, who's now sitting on 4 points and smiling ear to ear. But I gave out yesterday Russia -1. I told you guys if you don't mind paying the juice, just take Russia money line. As a matter of fact, in my article yesterday, what did I predict? Boom, Russia to win 1-0. What was the final score? Russia 1-0. So we pushed on the bet I gave out, but you won. I know I had a bunch of people DM me on Twitter at DukeDFS. Said, are we good with the money line still? I said, yep, and they went ahead and took that. I also gave you over 2 on Turkey and Wales, which actually ended up getting a little more juiced up than we had it last night at -110. It got to about -150 today, so that's always good. With the closing line value, we end up pushing that as well. And my God, how many chances do you need? We had Yilmaz right inside the 6-yard box, put one to Rosie because he just rushed his shot. It was a volley, a little bit above the hips, but my God, get your hips over it. Poof, hit it on frame. We also had Gareth Bale. Womp, womp. Missed the entire target by a mile. And then we do get the push there in the 95th minute. So I can't complain too much, but I thought we deserved the over there. Plenty of chances on both sides, definitely on the right side of things. Then, of course, I gave out Italy first half. As you see, went to halftime 1-0. That was a winner. Over on Elite Wins, I gave out, or EliteSportsBetting.com, Elite Wins on Twitter. I gave out over 2 in that game as well. And, of course, with the Immobile goal, we went ahead and hit that. So, fun day overall, profitable day overall. If you took that Russia money line especially, you're sitting at 2-0 on the day. I ended up pushing on that one over in the bet pack. But fun day overall. Italy, maybe the best-looking team so far in the tournament. They did lose Chiellini today. It looked more preventative than anything serious. He sat on the bench, didn't go in the dugout, or back to the locker room for x-rays or anything for his hamstring, but just looked like it was preventative and took himself out. Also, what are we doing with the handball rule? What are we doing with the handball rule? Makes you want to do this, watching Italy all day. If we're not going to call it on the defender and say it's accidental, his hand's in a normal spot, then why are we calling on the attacker? Because it leads to a goal? You're preventing a goal if you're in the box and you're challenging, but because you're leaning out, your arm goes up, and that's a natural position. Give me a break. Give me a break. What are you going to do? Tomorrow we have 3 awesome games. Denmark, Belgium, Ukraine, North Macedonia, which is what we'll talk about first. Netherlands, Austria, which is what we'll close out with. But I did have Russia 1-0. I thought we'd see like a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw, hence the over that we looked at there. And then for Italy, I thought they'd win 2-1. We got home on the over. They just did it all themselves, 3-0. That's over at EliteFantasy.com. If you want to sign up, hit me up on Twitter at DukeDFS. We'll see if I can get you a promo code or a little bit of a discount over there. We do have a special going on right now, $99.97, gets you access to every single sport. We got the U.S. Open coming up for golf. It's going to be fun. But let's get to the fun stuff, the betting opportunities here. We have Ukraine versus North Macedonia starting us off. This can't be right. I don't think Zinchenko is going to play left wing. They deployed him in like a CDM, left wing back, then CDM kind of role in possession. I think he probably goes right here where Shaparenko is, and we find someone else in this space up front. But clearly, Yarmolenko and Yaremchuk had production against Holland. And if we look at the heat map, like, what are we doing? How do they get production out of this? But they're just special players who make special plays in big games. And Yarmolenko obviously cuts in, little combination top of the box, takes a shot from about 24 yards out. Bam, curls it, upper corner, nothing Stecklenberg can do. And then the second goal came over here from Malinovsky, who plays the ball in, header goal from the big target forward, Yaremchuk. So this is telling right here. You can see they were defending for large parts of the game, had some possession, but for the most part were on the back foot. And I think it was almost like what we saw from Turkey in their first game, where I think Ukraine's a better team than Turkey, but came out very, very conservative and slow in that first half before finally going, like, I can eat these punches. Let's punch back a little bit, and had a hell of a lot more success. Of course, when you go down a goal, that certainly kicks you in the rear end too. So we look at North Macedonia and where they were. I mean, obviously came down the left side here, which we'll talk about in just a second, but kind of more of the same. Austria had them pinned back. As far as power rankings go, I have Ukraine ahead of Austria. Different style of play a little bit, but I expect to see something similar in terms of possession, progression as far as where the field, where in the field they try to attack. And then when we go to the match center, similar shots, like 62, 63% possession. I think that'd be about right for this match. Maybe even a little bit less, maybe around 60 for Ukraine in this match. Aerial duels, short, corners, probably similar. And shots. If we go to the shots, you see where they're coming from. If you remember from this match, this is North Macedonia's first match. Sabitzer with an unbelievable pinged ball across to Liner, who's coming in on the backside. First-time volley goal to the back post. World-class goal, probably not something we're going to see repeated. Pandev's goal. We have to talk about this. Goalkeeper error, miscommunication with the center back, errors all over the place. I also thought it was a foul on Tchaikovsky. Didn't call it. Pandev's there to clean it up. They didn't recreate a ton of opportunities. They love this back five for solidity and the three in front. And to be fair, they had some success with it early on, but eventually wilted to the pressure once Arnautovic came back in, who's going to be suspended for the next game. So really, I don't see North Macedonia causing Ukraine too much of an issue in the attacking third. I think it's going to be a battle for positional awareness here as far as Ukraine pressing into their attacking third and North Macedonia's defending third. The game's going to be won right here. Who can win this area here is going to be able to control the game and create more chances. I mean, Pandev maybe 15 years ago is good on the counterattack. Tchaikovsky maybe. If they get overextended, perhaps North Macedonia can hit them on the break and Alioski can fly up to the left wing. But in the build-up, in the run of play, Ukraine's just too solid. So outside of their goalkeeper, who I'm not sold on, Bushan, I think they got a pretty good chance of keeping a clean sheet here and Ukraine to win. So that's where I'm at. Ukraine moneyline minus 130 is what I'm going to take here. Interestingly enough, both teams to score no is also at minus 130 there as well. If you want to get cheeky with it, you can just go ahead and bet that. That way, if, God forbid, North Macedonia wins with a shutout, you win that bet. But I think more realistic situation is Ukraine winning this match 2-0 than North Macedonia winning it in any manner. So I'm going with Ukraine minus 130 as our first bet of the day. Also, this is my boy right here. I love Yaremchuk tomorrow to grab a goal. Don't have his odds pulled up. Let's see here. Plus 150. Yep. I mean, him and Yarmolenko should be the odds-on favorites there to score, so that makes sense. It's a little short for me to grab that, so I'm probably going to pass. How about our next match, our first match without Christian Eriksen? And good God, you want to talk about emotions? What is the Denmark team going to be like once they take the field here against Belgium? And the line is curious, to say the least. I understand we're in Copenhagen. I understand the fans stayed, chanted Eriksen's name, and that's part of the reason why the players came back out and played. I get all that. But from a straight talent standpoint, why is this even going to be a match? Jensen came on, played fine for Eriksen. I do like the addition of Dolberg up top. We started with Vend, And then Cornelius came on, but he was a little bit on the periphery. Dolberg, playing his club football in France, I think is their best hope up front to grab a goal. If not, just throw Poulsen up there or Braithwaite up there and bring someone else in on the wing. But you do need a big body up here. Here's the issue that I have with Denmark. These teams have both played each other twice here in the Nations League, and so we get a preview of kind of how these games have gone. You can see 4-2. This was back in November of 2020, so not too far ago. I do like Chadley here on this left wing back role. Of course, we see Eriksen's playing, but we also see De Bruyne is playing as well, and Hazard here. I believe that's Thorgan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's Thorgan on the right wing back. I don't mind Chadley in this left wing back role, and that could push Carrasco up here into this cam role, which I think he'd really excel in. But you see what's happening here, 4-2, and if we go to the heat maps, Denmark progressing down this right side here, but that was by design. Belgium wanted to hit them on the counterattack, because if we go back to the back four, I mean, Voss is really a midfielder. Christensen, Kjaer, super solid, not the fastest guys in the world. Christensen a little bit more pace than Kjaer. And they want to have Ram getting in behind. You see he grabbed the 2 goals there. If we go back to our shots, even, possession pretty even, corners pretty even, maybe even a slight edge to Belgium there. And that was in their most recent game. But how about September, just before that? Belgium wins again, 2-0. We go to the heat maps again, pretty similar. Denmark's going to have probably a little bit more possession, maybe even a little bit more progression. But this is by design. They don't want possession right here. They don't want to have to break down a lower block. They want space in behind for Lukaku to get in and go 1v1 against the goalie there. Bit of a similar situation here. Slight edge in the shots. Slight edge to Denmark in possession. Corners pretty similar. And the same result. So that's why I'm a little bit curious to see that Belgium is even money right now with a total of 2.5. Slight juice either way on this number here. As you can see, I'm locking in a pretty big play here. These are units, not dollars, by the way, on Belgium to win the game here. There's an argument to be made that perhaps it's better for Belgium to finish second. Just win the damn games. Just win the games. And without Christian Eriksen, this team really lacks the dynamism and the creativity in the final third to cause this back line a ton of issues. Now, we will see Vermaelen coming in. Vertonghen picked up a bit of an issue there in the second half. Boyata, Denier, either one of those two are fine here through the middle. Alderweireld and Courtois, we really didn't see him tested at all, but we know he's one of the best keepers in the tournament. So defensively, I like the way this Belgium team is set up. Now look, they have Eden Hazard starting. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I think it's still a little bit too much. He looked sharp. He looked bright when he came off the bench, but starting from the beginning here seems like a bit of a stretch. Probably won't see Kevin De Bruyne in this match. He may make the bench, but probably won't start. Probably not play. Then we have Meunier, who's going to be starting at the right wing back. Castagna, broken eye socket from the first challenge that he took there in their last match. So I don't know. Maybe it's the sucker line. Maybe I'm a square here for loving this so much. But even in a 1-0 game, I just struggle to see how Denmark's going to create and score against this Belgian back line. I know they're going to have a bit of possession. I know they're going to progress a little bit. But once they get to about 30 yards away from that Belgium goal, that's when they get stuck in, try to win the ball back and hit him on the break. Big Rom over the top. So Belgium, big play there. Last but not least, the Netherlands versus Austria. Really intriguing matchup to me. I have Holland actually finishing second in the group, or maybe first in the group. I'm not sure, but I have Ukraine finishing first or second. I think I go Netherlands, Ukraine first, second. But Austria has a chance to throw a wrench into things here. Clearly, Holland was flying in the attacking side, but gave up the 2 goals against Ukraine. We looked at that game here just a little bit ago. Wendell likely comes in on that left wing-back role. Blind, who had to come off, he said he was still struggling with the fact that Eriksen, had just had that issue. Wijnaldum's been brilliant in this role here, and De Jong and Martin de Roon really solidifying things in front of that back three. But Weghorst is a monster in the box. But you know who else is? Hinteregger, Dragovic, both big physical center backs who are really good in the air. I think Dragovic won 5 headers in their match, in their last match. So I think that's going to neutralize Weghorst a little bit. Depay was really on the periphery in the last game, trying to get involved, drop deep a little bit. I expect to see a little bit more from him, but this should be a relatively close and I think low-scoring match. Where Alaba is deployed is to be determined. Obviously, Arnautovic is suspended. That hurts Austria's chances. But as far as chance creation, as far as quality chance creation, I think Netherlands will have a slight edge, but not so much to where they're dominating the game. You see Ukraine, who basically did nothing in the first half as far as trying to go forward and progress, still scored 2 second-half goals once they turned the dial up a little bit. I think we can see something similar here from Austria. Bachmann, I do rate in goal. This back three is completely solid, although I'd move Hinteregger inside and Alaba to the left at least, if not put Ulmer here and Alaba out wide. But I like Austria +1, -120. This isn't an official play. We'll see what happens as we get closer to game time and team news is released. But I don't think Netherlands blows this team out. I think we got a good chance at maybe even a draw here for these two teams. So I'll take the +1. If we get a draw or certainly a win, we walk out with a win for our bet. Otherwise, good for Netherlands. You're going through in first place. So that's it. Ukraine, -130. Belgium, big bet. Them on the money line. And this keeps coming down, by the way. It was at +130, I think, yesterday when I looked at it. I meant to fire on it. Got busy doing something else, and here we are losing a little bit of value. But I think we go into -110, -115 by game time. So trying to grab a little CLV there as well. And finally, Austria, +1. I like the dog in that game. There you go. Remember, if you're from outside the U.S., leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching this from. I appreciate you guys so much. You've made it this far. I know you're a true footy fan. Or you like me, or both. And hopefully we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. I am Duke for Elite Fantasy. Adios.